Jamaica is an independent nation within the British Commonwealth, once inhabited by the Arawaks, first visited by Columbus in 1494, wrested from the Spanish by the British in 1655. In 1962, Jamaica won her independence. The government is democratic. The Crown is represented by a Jamaican Governor-General. Elections are held every 5 years with universal franchise for all over the age of 18. In the last election in 1972, the People's National Party, having a majority, formed the government with the party leader Michael Manley as Prime Minister.
But mark me, Mr. Speaker, it is going to be passed.
Jamaica is the third largest of the Caribbean islands, with an area of almost 4,500 square miles. There are 3 counties, with a further division into 14 parishes, each with its own local council. Kingston, the capital, is the largest city. Jamaica has broad, fertile plains and mountain ranges soaring to a height of more than 7,000 feet at Blue Mountain Peak. Jamaica has been called the land of wood and water and the land of eternal summer. On August 6, 1962, when Jamaica became independent, a new flag came into use. Its colors, gold, green, and black. Other national symbols were chosen as well. The ackee, the national fruit. The lignum vitae, the national flower. The blue maho, the national tree. And the Dr. Bird, the national bird. The Jamaican coat of arms shows 2 Arawak Indians, a red cross with 5 golden pineapples, and a crest surmounted by a Jamaican crocodile. The national motto is, out of many, one people. The original inhabitants, the Arawak Indians, disappeared under Spanish enslavement in less than 100 years, and the Spanish had to find a new source of labor. Africans were brought in to replace the Arawaks, and it is from this African heritage that more than 90% of all Jamaicans are descended. After abolition, many ex-slaves left the sugar estates to become farmers and cultivators. Again, a new labor force was needed, and East Indians were imported as indentured laborers. The last large group of immigrants arrived in the 19th century. They were the Chinese. Through the years, others were added to the Jamaican melting pot. Among the first, the Jews, seeking asylum from the Spanish Inquisition. Many also came from Syria and the Lebanon. Europeans, descendants of the early British planters, or more recent arrivals who have made Jamaica their home, form less than 1% of the population. Today, many Jamaican faces reflect this mixed ancestry. For most visitors to Jamaica, this is the place to enjoy the sun, the sea, and the sand. And this country offers a wide variety of holiday pleasures. Spots like these draw hundreds of thousands of tourists each year. For others, Jamaica offers a good climate for investment and an opportunity to participate in the building of an emergent nation. There are attractive tax incentives for investment, protection for local manufacturers, and a large pool of skilled, semi-skilled, and trainable workers. Jamaica, under its present government, is committed to a policy of working towards socialism. But this does not mean the end of private enterprise. Indeed, private enterprise will be encouraged to play its part in a positive and constructive way to build the nation. Recently, Jamaica announced the opening of a new transshipment port and free zone, a 20th century concept of international merchandising. Jamaica has many ties with old friends. And with some new ones. And Jamaica has sought and found new partners on the road to progress. Mexico and Jamaica are now cooperating in the production and refining of bauxite and are exchanging technical skills and experience in many fields. There are close ties of friendship as well with many new African states. Thus, Jamaica is emerging as one of the leaders of the Third World. The soil is still our most important source of wealth. From this rich gift of nature, Jamaica produces sugar, citrus, bananas, and many other important crops for home use and export. The Land Lease Project, a government plan, allows farmers to lease and cultivate acreage with an assured market for produce. Another project has created farms like this, named after President Julius K. Nyerere of Tanzania. Here, young people are being taught agricultural skills and the arts of community living. Through other plans, aid is being given to farmers in developing their own properties in the form of loans and other types of assistance. Education, too, is high on the list of priorities. New schools are being rapidly completed. There is greater emphasis on teacher training. The curriculum is being revised to make the educational system more relevant to national life and to encourage teenagers to remain an extra 2 years in school to develop job skills. A system of national youth service requires all graduates of secondary schools to spend 2 years serving their country. They are paid a small wage and a living allowance. Most of them are working in schools as teachers. On young people like these rests the responsibility for building their nation. Jamaica has her fine arts. And Jamaica has her traditions. Jamaicans in the 70s are working hard, but they play hard too. nation marching towards a promising future.